Welcome to Tennessee's 10 Fireflies, a complete audio guide to summer's light show. Every summer across Tennessee, an ancient ritual unfolds. As darkness falls over forests, meadows, and backyards, thousands of fireflies begin their mesmerizing light displays. These living constellations have captivated humans for generations. Yet most of us know very little about the individual species creating these enchanting shows. Tennessee is home to approximately 10 distinct firefly species, each with its own unique flash pattern, habitat preference, and seasonal timing. Understanding these differences transforms casual backyard observation into an engaging identification challenge and deepens your appreciation for nature's bioluminescent artistry. From the world-famous synchronous fireflies of Great Smoky Mountains to the ethereal blue ghosts that glow like tiny phantoms, Tennessee offers some of North America's most spectacular firefly displays. In this episode, we'll explore each species in detail, learn how to identify them, discover the best times and places to watch them, and understand what you can do to protect these fascinating insects. Let's begin our journey into the light. Let's start with the most famous firefly in North America, the synchronous firefly, scientifically named Photinus carolinus. This species creates one of nature's most spectacular phenomena, and Tennessee's Great Smoky Mountains National Park hosts the most renowned population. During peak season, typically from late May through mid-June, thousands of these beetles flash in perfect unison, creating cascading waves of light across entire hillsides. Male fireflies fly in coordinated patterns, producing 4 to 8 rapid flashes, followed by 6 to 9 seconds of darkness. Females perch in vegetation, responding with single flashes of their own. This remarkable synchronization occurs because males adjust their flash timing to match their neighbors, a behavior that researchers still find fascinating. The National Park Service notes that this species thrives in moist, forested areas, at elevations between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. The synchronous display has become so popular that the park now requires lottery tickets for viewing access during peak season. Here's a practical tip. Arrive at viewing locations at least 30 minutes before sunset, as synchronous fireflies begin their display during twilight rather than full darkness. The most intense flashing typically occurs between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. during peak season. These males measure approximately 5 to 8 millimeters in length, with dark brown to black wing covers and yellow-green bioluminescent organs. Next, we have the blue ghost firefly, scientifically known as Phausis reticulata. This species creates an otherworldly spectacle unlike any other Tennessee firefly. You'll observe males gliding through the forest understory, emitting a continuous pale blue-white glow for 30 to 60 seconds at a time, resembling tiny ghosts drifting through the darkness. This distinctive continuous glow, rather than pulsing flashes, is what sets blue ghosts apart from all other firefly species. Blue ghosts appear earlier than most fireflies, with peak activity from late April through early June in Tennessee's mountainous regions. Unlike the pulsing flashes of most fireflies, blue ghosts produce steady bioluminescence as they patrol 1 to 2 feet above the forest floor. The Gatlinburg Tourism Authority notes that these fireflies prefer mature hardwood forests with rich, moist soil and dense canopy cover. Females are flightless and produce faint glows from the ground, making them difficult to spot among leaf litter. You'll have the best success finding blue ghosts in Tennessee's eastern counties, particularly in the Cherokee National Forest and higher elevations of the Cumberland Plateau. Males measure 6 to 10 millimeters in length with soft, grayish-brown bodies. Their larvae are predatory, feeding on millipedes and other small invertebrates in the soil. Here's an important note. Blue ghost fireflies are extremely sensitive to light pollution. Use red-filtered flashlights sparingly and allow at least 20 minutes for your eyes to fully adjust to darkness before expecting to see their subtle blue glow. The common eastern firefly, Photinus pyralis, represents the species most Tennessee residents know best. This is the firefly that thrives in suburban yards, parks, and open woodlands throughout the state. You'll recognize males by their distinctive J-shaped flash pattern as they fly in swooping arcs 2 to 6 feet above the ground from late May through July. Each flash lasts approximately half a second, with 5 to 6 second intervals between flashes. This adaptable species tolerates a wide range of habitats, making it the firefly you're most likely to encounter in urban and suburban Tennessee. Males measure 10 to 14 millimeters in length, with distinctive red-orange markings on their thorax and yellow-green light organs. Tennessee State Parks notes that these fireflies begin emerging around dusk, typically between 8 and 10 p.m. depending on the season. Females perch on vegetation or grass blades, responding to male flash patterns with precisely timed single flashes. You'll notice that cooler temperatures slow their flash rates, while warmer evenings produce more rapid signaling. The larvae of this species are voracious predators of snails, slugs, and earthworms, spending up to 2 years in the larval stage before pupating. Their tolerance for various habitat types makes them valuable natural pest controllers in Tennessee gardens, consuming numerous agricultural and garden pests during their larval development. Now we encounter a truly fascinating species, the pine barrens firefly, Photurus lucicrescens. This larger species brings a predatory twist to Tennessee's firefly community. You'll find this species active from June through August in pine forests, mixed woodlands, and forest edges across middle and eastern Tennessee. Males produce a distinctive pattern of 3 to 4 quick flashes, followed by a longer pause, flying higher than most other species at 6 to 10 feet above ground. This species exhibits remarkable predatory behavior that sets it apart from other Tennessee fireflies. Females can mimic the flash patterns of other firefly species, particularly the common eastern firefly, to lure unsuspecting males of those species into a deadly trap. When a male approaches expecting to mate, the Photurus female captures and consumes him. This predatory behavior serves another purpose, acquiring defensive chemicals called lucibophagians that protect the female from predators like spiders and birds. Pine barrens fireflies demonstrate remarkable flash pattern flexibility. Females can switch between their species-specific pattern and mimicked patterns of prey species, showcasing sophisticated neural control of bioluminescent signaling. You'll recognize males by their larger size, measuring 12 to 18 millimeters in length with amber-colored wing covers and robust bodies. They prefer areas with mixed vegetation where multiple firefly species overlap, providing abundant prey opportunities. The species name lucicrescens refers to their bright, intensifying glow. Their larvae also exhibit predatory behavior, hunting other firefly larvae and small invertebrates in the soil and leaf litter. The spring treetop flasher, Pyractomina borealis, earns its name through distinctive high-altitude displays in Tennessee's deciduous forests. You'll observe males flashing 15 to 30 feet high in tree canopies from April through early June, making them one of the earliest firefly species to emerge each year. Their flash pattern consists of a single bright pulse lasting approximately 1 second, repeated every 3 to 5 seconds. This species prefers mature hardwood forests with oak, hickory, and maple trees, particularly in Tennessee's eastern mountain regions and the Cumberland Plateau. Males patrol the upper canopy while females remain lower, typically 3 to 6 feet above ground on tree trunks and low branches. The vertical separation between sexes creates a unique three-dimensional courtship arena, unlike the ground-level displays of most fireflies. You'll need to look upward to spot these fireflies, as their high-flying behavior makes them easy to miss if you're only watching ground level. Males measure 8 to 12 millimeters in length with dark wing covers and distinctive reddish-orange markings on their thorax. According to research from firefly conservation organizations, this species faces habitat pressure from forest fragmentation, as they require continuous canopy cover for successful reproduction. Protecting mature forest habitat is essential for maintaining spring treetop flasher populations across Tennessee. The little gray firefly, Photinus marginellus, represents one of Tennessee's smaller and more subtle species. You'll find these diminutive beetles active from late May through July in grassy meadows, old fields, and woodland edges throughout the state. Males produce rapid, stuttering flashes while flying close to the ground, typically 6 to 18 inches above grass level, creating a low-lying constellation of tiny lights. This species demonstrates remarkable habitat flexibility, thriving in both natural grasslands and maintained areas like parks and residential lawns. Males measure just 5 to 7 millimeters in length, with grayish-brown wing covers that provide excellent camouflage during daylight hours. Their small size and low flight pattern make them vulnerable to lawn mowing, so delaying mowing until after firefly season helps protect their populations. You'll notice their flash pattern differs significantly from larger species. Instead of bold, singular flashes, little gray fireflies produce quick, flickering pulses that last less than a quarter second each. Females respond from grass blades and low vegetation with even briefer flashes. The species plays an important ecological role as beneficial insects whose larvae consume pest species in Tennessee, grasslands, and gardens. Here's a common mistake many observers make. They overlook little gray fireflies because they watch for flashes at eye level. Focus your attention on the ground layer, scanning grass tops and low vegetation where these small species operate. The winter firefly, Elychnia corusca, breaks all conventional firefly rules in Tennessee. You'll encounter this unique species during daylight hours in winter months as adults remain active from October through April. Unlike other fireflies, winter fireflies don't produce visible light displays. They've lost the ability to bioluminesce, instead relying on pheromone communication for mating. These fireflies spend cold months sheltering under tree bark, particularly on oak, hickory, and pine trees throughout Tennessee's forests. On warmer winter days above 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll spot them crawling on tree trunks and branches, appearing as dark, beetle-like insects measuring 8 to 11 millimeters in length. Their wing covers display distinctive ridged patterns, and their bodies are more robust than summer fireflies, adapted for cold tolerance. Winter fireflies feed on tree sap, pollen, and nectar during their adult stage, representing a significant departure from the non-feeding behavior of most firefly species. Their larvae develop in rotting wood and leaf litter, taking up to 2 years to complete development. The Tennessee Aquarium notes that these fireflies provide important winter food sources for insectivorous birds and other predators when few other insects are active. This species represents a remarkable evolutionary adaptation to Tennessee's winter environment, filling an ecological niche that other fireflies cannot occupy. The woodland Lucy firefly, Photinus consumellus, thrives in Tennessee's mature forests and wooded areas from June through early August. You'll observe males producing a distinctive two-pulse flash pattern, a quick initial flash followed immediately by a slightly longer second flash, with 4 to 6 seconds between each double flash sequence. This species prefers areas with dense understory vegetation and moderate moisture levels. Males fly 2 to 4 feet above the forest floor, weaving between shrubs and saplings as they search for females. The species measures 7 to 10 millimeters in length with dark brown to black wing covers and subtle yellowish markings along the edges. Females remain hidden in low vegetation, responding to male patterns with precisely timed single flashes that signal their receptivity and location. You'll find woodland Lucy fireflies most abundant in Tennessee's eastern forests, particularly in areas with mixed hardwood composition. Their larvae develop in moist leaf litter and rotting logs, feeding on small invertebrates and snails. The species demonstrates strong site fidelity, with adults emerging year after year in the same forest patches when habitat conditions remain stable. This makes them excellent indicators of forest health and ecosystem continuity in Tennessee's woodland environments. Here's a practical tip: the double flash pattern of woodland. Lucy fireflies makes them easy to distinguish from single flashing species. Count the flashes carefully. If you consistently see two quick pulses together, you've identified this species. The shadow ghost firefly, Phausis inaxensa, represents another non-flashing species in Tennessee's firefly community. You'll rarely encounter this secretive beetle as it inhabits deep forest environments with dense canopy cover and minimal understory light. Active from May through July, these fireflies produce only faint, continuous glows rather than distinct flashes, and their populations remain poorly studied across Tennessee. Females are completely wingless and larviform, meaning they retain larval appearance throughout their adult lives. They remain on the ground or in leaf litter, producing weak bioluminescence that's nearly impossible to detect without close observation. Males possess wings and can fly, but their light production is also minimal compared to flashier species. Both sexes measure 6 to 9 millimeters in length with soft, grayish bodies. This species likely occurs throughout Tennessee's forested regions, but their cryptic behavior and minimal light production make population assessments challenging. They prefer undisturbed mature forests with thick leaf litter layers, where their larvae can hunt for small invertebrates. The shadow ghost's evolutionary strategy of reduced bioluminescence may help them avoid predators and parasites that use light signals to locate fireflies, though this makes them nearly invisible to human observers as well. Understanding this species requires patience and careful observation in deep forest settings where light pollution is minimal. Finally, we have the dusk-flying firefly, Photinus scintillans. This species begins its nightly displays earlier than most Tennessee fireflies, becoming active during the last light of sunset from late May through July. You'll notice males emerging and flashing while the sky still holds color, producing single bright pulses every 3 to 4 seconds as they fly 3 to 5 feet above ground in open areas, field edges, and suburban landscapes. This species demonstrates remarkable adaptability to human-modified environments, thriving in parks, golf courses, and residential areas throughout Tennessee. Males measure 8 to 11 millimeters in length, with dark wing covers and prominent light organs that produce yellow-green flashes. Their early evening activity may help them avoid competition with later flying species that occupy similar habitats. You'll have the best success observing dusk-flying fireflies during the 20 to 30-minute window when natural light fades but before full darkness arrives. Females perch on grass stems and low shrubs, typically 1 to 2 feet above ground, responding to male flashes with quick, single pulses. The species' tolerance for various habitat conditions and human activity makes it one of Tennessee's more commonly encountered fireflies in developed areas, though many observers miss them by not watching during the critical dusk period. Here's a key insight. Timing is everything with dusk-flying fireflies. Set an alarm for 30 minutes before official sunset during June and July, and you'll catch their displays when other firefly species remain inactive. Now that we've explored each of Tennessee's 10 firefly species individually, let's discuss how to identify them successfully. Successfully identifying Tennessee's firefly species requires attention to multiple characteristics beyond just flash patterns. You'll improve your identification skills by observing flight height, habitat type, time of season, and time of night when each species is most active. Creating a simple observation log helps track patterns across multiple evenings and builds your recognition skills over time. Flash pattern remains the most reliable identification characteristic for Tennessee fireflies. Use a smartphone with a slow-motion video feature to record flashing sequences, then play them back to count pulses and measure intervals accurately. The flash pattern database maintained by firefly researchers provides detailed descriptions and timing measurements for comparison with your observations. Temperature significantly affects firefly behavior and flash rates. Warmer evenings produce faster flashing and more active displays, while cooler temperatures slow everything down. Most Tennessee fireflies are most active when temperatures range between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity also plays a role. Fireflies tend to be more abundant and active on humid evenings, as moisture helps prevent desiccation of their soft bodies. Beyond flash pattern, pay attention to flight height. Some species, like the spring treetop flasher, operate high in tree canopies, while others, like the little gray firefly, stay just inches above the ground. Habitat type matters greatly, with some species preferring open fields while others require mature forest. Finally, note the time of night. Some species, like the dusk-flying firefly, display during twilight, while others, like the synchronous firefly, peak after 9 p.m. Using all these characteristics together creates a comprehensive identification system. Tennessee offers exceptional firefly viewing opportunities from April through August, with peak diversity occurring in June when multiple species overlap. You'll find the most spectacular displays in areas with minimal light pollution, adequate moisture, and diverse habitat types. Eastern Tennessee, particularly the Great Smoky Mountains region and Cherokee National Forest, hosts the greatest species diversity and largest populations. The famous synchronous firefly display at Elkmont in Great Smoky Mountains National Park requires advance lottery tickets, but many other Tennessee locations offer excellent viewing without reservations. State parks like Fall Creek Falls, Frozen Head, and Pickett offer good firefly populations with designated dark sky areas. The Cumberland Plateau region provides habitat for both woodland and grassland species, creating diverse viewing opportunities. Here's a practical tip. Visit the same location multiple times throughout the season to observe how firefly communities change. Early season, from April to May, features blue ghosts and spring species, while midsummer from June to July brings peak diversity and abundance. Timing your visits correctly maximizes your firefly encounters. Most species begin displaying 20 to 30 minutes after sunset and remain active for 1 to 2 hours. Moonless nights or periods before moonrise provide the darkest conditions and most visible displays. Avoid nights immediately following heavy rain, as fireflies tend to remain inactive until conditions dry slightly. However, the night after rain often produces exceptional displays as fireflies make up for lost signaling time. Planning your visits around these weather patterns significantly increases your chances of witnessing memorable firefly displays. Tennessee's firefly populations face increasing pressure from habitat loss, light pollution, and pesticide use. You can support firefly conservation through simple actions in your own yard and community. Reducing outdoor lighting, especially during peak firefly season from April through August, helps maintain the darkness these insects need for successful reproduction. Motion-activated lights and warm-colored bulbs create less disruption than constant bright white lighting. Maintaining natural areas in your landscape benefits fireflies significantly. Leave portions of your yard unmowed during summer months, as many species require tall grass and vegetation for breeding habitat. Avoid pesticide applications, particularly broad-spectrum insecticides that kill firefly larvae along with target pests. Creating brush piles and leaving fallen logs provides essential habitat for larvae and overwintering adults of species like the winter firefly. Water features and moisture retention support firefly populations, as most species require adequate humidity for survival. Allow leaf litter to accumulate in garden beds and natural areas rather than removing it completely. This provides crucial habitat for larvae and the small invertebrates they prey upon. Participating in citizen science projects helps researchers track firefly populations and distribution across Tennessee. Programs like Firefly Watch and iNaturalist allow you to contribute observations that build scientific understanding of these beetles. Sharing your firefly sightings with specific location and timing information helps identify important habitats that may warrant protection. As Tennessee continues developing, maintaining connected natural areas becomes increasingly critical for firefly populations that require specific habitat conditions and minimal light pollution. Your actions at home contribute to a larger conservation effort benefiting these enchanting insects across the state. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Tennessee's 10 firefly species. We've journeyed from the spectacular synchronized flashing of Photinus carolinus in the Great Smoky Mountains to the ethereal blue glow of Phausis reticulata drifting through forest understories. We've discovered the predatory nature of the pine barrens firefly, learned about the cold-hardy winter firefly, and explored 9 other remarkable species, each adapted to specific habitats and seasons throughout Tennessee. These tiny beetles, no larger than a grain of rice in many species, represent an important part of Tennessee's ecological heritage. Their bioluminescent displays have inspired wonder and curiosity in humans for generations. By understanding these individual species, their flash patterns, habitats, and behaviors, you become a more informed and appreciative observer of nature. Whether you're watching from your backyard, visiting state parks, or trekking into the Cherokee National Forest, you now have the knowledge to identify which species you're witnessing and appreciate the unique evolutionary adaptations that make each species special. I encourage you to get outside during firefly season, from April through August, and experience these living constellations yourself. Bring a notebook to record observations. Use that smartphone slow-motion camera and share your sightings with citizen science projects. Protect these insects by reducing light pollution, maintaining natural habitat, and avoiding pesticides in your yard. Tennessee's fireflies depend on our stewardship for their survival. Thank you again for listening, and may your firefly observations be filled with wonder and light.